Welcome to the 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast, where a Radiohead fan Gen X father tries to convince his Radiohead illiterate Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time by introducing him to Radiohead music one song at a time. He will react to this song for the first time, I will react for the zillionth time, and go on and on and on about why it's such a great song. It has been a little bit of time since we posted a video, which we thought summertime's coming. We're going to boom, 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 nail these. And then we've got vacations we've gone on. We just had a family reunion last week, and that's where we were. We're back. Actually, today, you will not be reacting for the first time because we are doing the most requested song by the YouTube viewing audience, which is from 2007's In Rainbows, Jigsaw Falling Into Place. This will be the second time, and probably only the second time, that Jacob has heard Jigsaw Falling Into Place. If you've watched a lot of our videos and you've requested Jigsaw Falling Into Place, you might have gotten a response by me saying that actually we've done this song before. Early on, we were trying different sound techniques, and we did Jigsaw Falling Into Place, and it didn't work because the noise from the rest of the house really carried well into that video, and we thought, now let's just move on. We'll try Jigsaw Falling Into Place later, and now it is the most requested song by far, and it's time to do it, right? Yeah. This comes from, of course, 2007's In Rainbows. Beautiful, gorgeous, almost flawless album. Like a lot of Radiohead albums, especially things since since OK Computer, you really should listen to the album in order. This is a reaction channel. We just don't do that. We're just picking a song right out of the blue, and we're going right after it. The Jigsaw Falling Into Place. Oh boy, this is a long list. Melchior Aksak, Joe W., the guy from Holland, J.O., Joe Dobson, Michael Lotman, Diego Bellines, Funny Monkey, Aglos Mard, Awesome Sauce, It Me, Lucky Kid A, Cassia. Just lots and lots and lots. I probably didn't even get all of them because it's really a highly requested song. I think people really, when you reacted well to Body Snatchers, said, okay, now you got to go back to Jigsaw, or now you got to try Jigsaw Falling Into Place. We really ought to do a role reversal next. It's been a while since we've done a role reversal. Probably follow that up maybe with it. Well, we got to do another Radiohead video because that's the kind of channel it is. And then need to get back to some viewer requests, maybe a couple of those in a row. In Rainbows is really a great album, released finally when Radiohead has split from EMI, and they're kind of independently doing their thing now, which means they got to release this album for pay what you want, and many people just downloaded this. This was the first album that I didn't buy in CD form by Radiohead, and therefore have never, because it's always streamed in some way or another. But I know a lot of people have it on vinyl. A great one to check out. Every single song from In Rainbows. You should also check out their live from the basement version of these things. Just because they just do a wonderful job. Can't say much more about it. Let's listen to Jigsaw Falling Into Place.
As you take my hand, just as you write my number down, just as the drinks arrive, just as they play your favorite song, as your body disappears. No one will wind up like a spring before you had too much. Come back and focus again. The walls have been in shape. They got it Cheshire cat grin, all blurring into one. This place is on a mission before the night out. Before the animal noises closer get cameras. Before you come
I don't remember a single thing about this song.
Yeah. This doesn't sound familiar to you?
Nope, I do not remember it being this catchy. I don't remember it being this catchy is like the main thing. Last time I heard this, I thought it was more boring.
No.
Like I remember it being pretty, what old me would have said, consistent.
Yeah. And this was when we first listened to this. I mean, it was really like the third thing we did, and you were
just after Let Down.
Yeah. So you were listening for chorus verse classic.
Yeah.
And yeah, you may have forgotten that it's a bit of a banger. We just got into the best part. I mean, not the best part. We just got into the bass. Colin Greenwood. This song makes him shine. And we're just finishing Act 1.
between the notes. The beat goes round and round. The beat goes round and round. Never really got there. I just pretended that I wasn't playing instruments. As I said, I shotguns. Come on and let it out. 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 Before you run away from me. Before you're lost between the notes. Just as you take the mic. Just as you dance, 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 dance. Jigsaw falling in place, so there is much to explain. You eye each other as you pass. She looks back, you look back. Not just once, not just twice. Wish you were a nightmare. Wish you were a nightmare. You got it on, you can feel it on your back. And you can feel it on your back. Jigsaw falling into place.
And not a crazy long outro.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, more catchy. I like the beat, and yeah, I really like songs that are like the last final part, whether that be chorus or just this final outro. They get more pumped up. So during the song, even though you might say, "Well, this is kind of like really boring. I don't really want to listen to it," you're still waiting for that last part. And I thought that last part, like, vocally was good. Like, when he says there's nothing to explain, he really started getting pitchy. He started doing
changing
more,
pitch.
more
Yes.
with his voice
Yes.
than what he was doing earlier.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes. Exactly.
I'm becoming better at this.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a song that I think has three distinct kind of movements, where it starts off with the kind of repetitive dun 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 dun, and then he goes up an octave, which brings a little more excitement into it, and then that final jigsaw falling into place is a little bit different. And by that time, they're really moving on the guitars and the picking. Yeah, you're right. There's no here's the verse, here's the chorus, here's the verse, here's the chorus. But once you know the song, you know, okay, there's going to be more. Oh yeah, there is still more. Oh, there is more, and it just builds on itself, much like the way that the description of how this song came about kind of builds on itself. Tom York talks about, going out in Oxford and just partying. This is a song that reminds him of, and it's not necessarily about him partying, but observing other people partying and how quickly relationships rise and fall. They're not really relationships. They're the meeting somebody, dancing on the dance floor, maybe making out a little bit, and then the night is over and you never see each other again. And it's all kind of presented in that way. It's over very quickly. And so is each segment of this song. I mean, it builds up, and then it's over. What do you think of that bass?
You definitely mentioned there is a bass.
Yes. I guess that's what stands out so much to me, is that this is a great song for Colin, and a great song for Johnny, but certainly Colin gets to shine a little bit more in here. And if there's one member of Radiohead that maybe you think hasn't been able to evolve a lot with the band because he is playing the bass, but there are moments when Colin, especially since In Rainbows, where Colin really gets to show that he has evolved with the band, that he has, he is doing more than just supplying those undertones, and this is one of those songs that really sounds good that way. What would you give it as a score?
7.
7? Okay.
7.
That's better than the 5 you originally gave Jigsaw Falling Into Place. But again, it was very early on. You were expecting different type of music from Radiohead, I think, based on Creep, based on the few songs that you knew at the time. And it doesn't surprise me at all that it catches you a little bit more. In Rainbows, you'll find all of it grows on you, but there are certain songs that the first time you hear, especially if you understand Radiohead, you're like, yeah, I get that. That's a good song. For those people who maybe know Radiohead from older 90s days, if you don't know In Rainbows as well, where does Jigsaw Falling Into Place come in for you? I'd be interested to know. Of course, most of the people that do the commenting here, they're Radiohead fans, or they're certainly fans of later Radiohead, so maybe that doesn't even apply to them. But I know there are a couple people out there that definitely are old school Radiohead fans. So does Jigsaw Falling Into Place align a little bit more with your Radiohead likes and dislikes, that sort of thing?
It's more funky than I remember.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than I remember.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think first time I heard Jigsaw... Oh, I will say, this is a fun video. If you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link, of course, to the video. Super low-budget video. They spend almost nothing on it. Basically, they're wearing these helmets that are painted with cameras on them, so it's got that, the camera attached to the helmet, so the camera goes wherever their head goes. It's one of those creepy-looking things. You've seen it. It's a fun video to watch, just to watch their eyes move while their head is technically not moving because it's attached to these cameras. But well done on a low budget and something unique and really fun to do. And watching watching Tom York lyrically get really into, vocally get into this while he's got this camera attached to his head. It's really funny to watch. So check it out. And then check out some live versions as well, which we'll link to. The artwork here is pretty simplistic. It's bedtime. This is the boy's artwork. It says, "Wow, you fell in a place," and he says, "I know," spelt N-O, of course.
Beautifully.
And you can see he just slapped this on the dinner table where there's some grease. Maybe that's part of the art. Maybe he's like, this little grease smudge here explains a lot. And then her picture is so great. It says, "Falling in Love." There are two people. She heard this song. She heard "Falling in Love," and that's really not... I can't say that's not what the song is about, because that's what it's about to her. But it's just funny that really it's about these singular hookups and this party atmosphere.
They fell in love for one night.
That's exactly right. They fell in love for one night. It's like every dream you've ever had with a mystery girl, where for a few minutes in your dream, you're in total love with this person you've never met before, and you wake up and you're like, who was that person? What the heck am I dreaming about? Yep. I shouldn't talk like that as if this has happened to me recently. I've been married for 22 years, and I don't dream about other... Oh boy. Cut. I would say when she watches this, but she stopped watching these videos a long time ago, I think.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah. So the last video we did was from The Smile. We did Panavision. We need to get back to The Smile because a lot of people are like, yeah, Panavision's fine, whatever. You should have started with... Not should have started, but they just had other recommendations. Seems that Thin Thing, was that the name of the song? I think Thin Thing was kind of the second place. Or maybe You'll Never Work in Television Again. Those songs seem like they got a lot of votes. I'll look and see where all those votes are, and we'll come back to that. But this is a comment from a regular viewer talking about Panavision. Coleman Diaz says, "Big Sad, it's not a bad song, but haven't found a Smile song I really like. I'm a pure listener and can't identify 7/4 and key changes and all that jazz, so I can't fully appreciate the technicality on that level. But sonically, the song gets a 4 out of 10 from me. Really wanted to like The Smile, but horribly depressed with what I've heard." So I picked that comment because it's super honest and very good. This is a Radiohead fan who's listening to The Smile and can't get it. It doesn't get it, and openly admits, "Hey, look, I'm listening to this stuff for sonic purposes only," which is what you do too. You listen with a listening ear. What does it do musically immediately? Not technically. You don't technically care about time signatures and key changes and those types of things. And when I point out some of this nerdy stuff, and I skim the surface of nerddom when it comes to Radiohead, you should really see what type of connections people have made in Radiohead music. When they hit this note at the same time is the same time Tom York is singing this one thing, and it's the same thing he does at exactly the same point in a song from 12 years ago. I mean, people really have nerded out on this stuff, and it's interesting. But I appreciate the honesty that sometimes you listen to something. I listened to that song Panavision, and I was like, this is exactly what I want from a Tom York, Johnny Greenwood side project. And I've listened to that song a couple more times since, and I really like Panavision. I'm excited to hear more of The Smile. But I had to listen to Kid A few times before I could accept that it wasn't OK Computer. And I'm not saying that this listener reviewer will, if you keep listening to The Smile, you'll like it. But I get that, and I think for you, for anyone who I'm trying to convince Radiohead is the greatest band of all time, you might have to go back to them, and I don't know if I can tell you to listen more technically, because that's not fair. If you're just a pure listener, be a pure listener. But I think the songs will grow on you even as a pure listener, as Kid A did, as Amnesiac definitely had to, and now has. And that's probably it for Radiohead albums that had to grow on me a little bit. I know it's blasphemy to say Kid A had to grow on me, but remember, I was a OK Computer, the Benz, Pablo Honey fan, and so I had to come around to Kid A. And then, while I was coming around to Kid A, Amnesiac was released, and I was like, please go back to what But it took me a while to really come around to Amnesiac. By the way, we haven't done Amnesiac in a while. Maybe it's time for some Knives Out or something like that. I don't know what Amnesiac song should we go back to that we haven't done yet. Leave some nice comments. Hope you're sticking with us. I know a lot of people have said happy birthday to me. Appreciate it so much. My birthday is the middle of August. So I set that up a little too early, but I was just saying when I'm going to be when I'm finally going to play, reveal to you what my favorite Radiohead song is, will be in the middle of August. And right about the time we'll be traveling again. So we will see when that comes out. But thank you so much for thinking about me. Thank you so much for your nice comments, your regular viewership. Continue to like, share, all that stuff. Hit that subscribe button, so notification. Hit that notification button so you can know when we've got all this good stuff coming. Continue to love one another. Keep listening to music together. You're now leaving
the 15th floor.